Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the English class. I am Roslyn, your English teacher. Today, we will be discussing lesson number 4, My Point of View from your Class 8 English textbook. The article over 100 UFOs sighted in India was published in the Daily DNA. Now, what do you mean by UFO? The unidentified flying objects. It was published at Indian Standard Time, that is 7:49 p.m. on November 5th, 2012. It was published from Delhi. The report details were prepared by PTI, that is Press Trust of India, about more than 100 sightings of UFOs in the last 3 months. This reading is derived from a PTI article published on November 5th, 2012 in DNA from New Delhi. It is about around 100 unidentified flying objects that were seen or sighted in India by army troops in the last 3 months. Now, what do you mean by troops? The soldiers on duty in a large group. Different agencies, including the Indian Army, have failed to identify them, and according to local people, they do not belong to the earth. According to the reports of 17 corps. Now, what do you mean by corps? A military unit trained to perform particular duties. The yellowish round objects rise from the horizon and slowly travel through the sky for 3 to 4 hours before disappearing. The officials made sure that those UFOs were not planes or satellites. Even the spectrum analyzer. Now, what is a spectrum analyzers? It is an equipment which examines which colors in detail in order to discover more about it. The officials made sure that those UFOs were not planes or satellites. Even the spectrum analyzer from a ground based radar unit could not detect the objects that were being tracked. Now, what is a radar? A system which uses radio waves to find the position of the objects which cannot be seen. They seem to be non-metallic. Non-metallic means which is not made of metal. Some believed they could be surveillance equipment or weather instruments. Surveillance means the careful watching of a place or a person, especially by the police or the army. Equipment, the set of necessary tools. According to the sources, the similar reports were made before 5 or 6 years about sightings of such objects, but the matter was never discussed at the higher level. Activity 4, UFOs in India. Is it planes or planets? This report of UFOs in India, planes or planets, was published in India News Today. In India News Today on July 26, 2013. This report quotes different conclusions about watching of the UFOs from different sources. The report says that according to a report by BBC, the Indian army spent 6 months watching airplanes or satellites, but they must have seen Jupiter and Venus. Telegraph, a Kolkata based newspaper, reports about 329 sightings over a lake in the patrolled region. Now, what is patrolled region? An area under watch. Military sources have watched him rising from the horizon and moving slowly across the sky. Army Lance Naik Manmohan Singh reports to have noticed a delay of 4 minutes in the appearance of the objects each following day. IIAP. Now, what is the full form of IIAP? I'll let you know afterwards. Or let me tell you now only. IIAP means Indian Institute of Astrophysics. The full form is Indian Institute of Astrophysics, which is situated in Bangalore to identify the objects, unidentified objects, to identify the unidentified objects. The IIAP delimits their job to decide whether the objects were celestial or terrestrial. Celestial means of or from the sky or outside the world, while terrestrial means relating to the planet Earth. They concluded that the observed objects were Jupiter and Venus. According to the IIAP, the objects appear very bright because of the atmospheric transparency at the high altitude. Altitude means height above the sea level. But the IIAP findings are hardly acceptable. Local farmers say that the UFOs don't seem to be planets. UFO experts agree to have seen many UFO sightings. They also say that there may be an underground UFO base in the area. According to Tushar Prabhu, the job of IIAP was to determine whether those unidentified objects were celestial or terrestrial. The IIAP team said that the stars and the planets over the horizon appear very bright because of the increased atmospheric transparency at the high altitude. Therefore, both Jupiter and Venus looked the brightest planets in the sky at that time. The local farmers, what they say? The local farmers say that they have videotaped the flying objects that do not seem to be planets, and UFO experts say that there have been so many UFO sightings in the area that there may be an underground UFO base in the area. Activity 8. There is an interview, or here is an interview of Dr. Carl Sagan. The interviewer asked Dr. Sagan to give his views on the existence of the sightings, on the existence of the intelligent extraterrestrials and the many sightings and reports from the people who say that they have seen extraterrestrials on Earth. Carl Sagan admits that since his childhood, he has been strongly fascinated by the belief of intelligent extraterrestrial life. Now, what do you mean by extraterrestrial? Which is outside the planet Earth. He has been involved in sending spacecraft to nearby planets to search life, and in the radio search for extraterrestrial intelligence. If they are found, Dr. Sagan takes it to be a wonderful prospect. It would be an absolutely transforming event in the human history. But to verify their existence, more rigorous standards of evidence are to be implemented. The interviewer asked Dr. Sagan to comment on the stories that people have told of being abducted or kidnapped. Abducted means forced someone to go somewhere with you, often using threats or violence. The interviewer asked Dr. Sagan to comment on the stories that people have told of being abducted or kidnapped. If people have provided strong evidence of their vision on the earth. Dr. Sagan says that there are many strange stories from people about them, but they cannot be taken as true. To take it seriously, physical evidence is to be examined by skeptical scientists. Skeptical means doubting that something is true or useful. No reliable evidences are found. People say that if lights are flashed towards UFO, they also flash back. But even pilots of airplanes also could do that as a good joke to play. Now, anecdote. Anecdote means a short, often funny story, especially about something that someone has done. Now, activity 10. Our universe is such a huge place that many people think that there must be other life somewhere in it just because it's so huge. One light second is given already. What is its kilometers? Our sun is 8.33 light minutes away, means it takes the light from the sun 8.33 minutes to reach us. Imagine how far away a light year must be. The nearest star from the earth is Proxima Centauri. I hope all of you must have understood this lesson. Now let us move on to the word meanings. Luminous, producing or reflecting bright light. Extraterrestrial, coming from outside the planet Earth. Traverse, to move or travel through one area. Spectrum analyzer, examines an equipment which colors and detail in order to discover more about it. Altitude, the height above the sea level. Notion, idea or belief. Rigorous, strict. Prospect, possibility. Anecdote, a short, often funny story, especially about something that someone has done. Skeptical, doubting that something is true. Assignments, answer the following questions. What efforts were made by the army to identify the UFOs? What was the job of IIAP according to Tushar Prabhu? What notion had Dr. Carl Sagan nurtured from his childhood? What did he do to pursue it later? Kindly write all the question answers in your English classwork notebook. Thank you.